All right, in this video, we're going to talk about Bethany, Oregon. So Bethany is an unincorporated area in Washington County, basically connected to Beaverton and Hillsborough to the north of these Portland suburbs. Bethany doesn't get talked about enough. It's a very popular area. It's an area that a lot of people tend to gravitate toward, especially once they start to learn more about it and see all of the things that it has to offer. In this video, we're going to check it all out. Stay tuned to learn more. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Paul Clem with the Home Team Brokers coming to you from Bethany, Oregon today. And in this video, we're going to talk about all things Bethany. So Bethany is an area in Washington County, north of Beaverton, north of Hillsborough, north of Highway 26. So this is unincorporated northwest Washington County. It's an area that by and large is considered to be Beaverton. It's Beaverton School District. This is an area that in 2002, the urban growth boundary expanded west and north to basically include this Bethany area. So all of what you see around Bethany has really been developed in the past 20 years. That is really reflected driving around this area. It feels new, it's nice, it's shiny, has a little more of that shine to it than maybe some of the areas that are a little bit older, a little bit more mature. Now, this area has been established long enough now where you get a lot of trees. I mean, you do get a lot of the benefits of an area that has been established for a little bit longer, but you get the upside of newer homes, newer communities, and a lot of the amenities that come along with that too. I mean, something we talk about in a lot of these videos is when you look at developments, areas, neighborhoods, communities, whatever it is that are developed more recently, you're going to get more amenities like sidewalks and wide streets, nicely laid out areas, a lot of walking trails, like where I am right now, kind of right in the heart of Bethany. I'm right in between Bethany Village and the West Union Village, which is really the two primary kind of commercial shopping areas for Bethany. Oh, hey, and by the way, if this is your first time to the channel or you've been here and you haven't already and you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap that little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. All right, it's pretty hot out here. Let's get in the car and go check it out. All right, so what you just saw there was Bethany Village, which is right in the heart of Bethany. Pretty much everything that you would need is right there. I think that is one critique that people might have about Bethany, is that you are kind of in a bubble a little bit. It's a really pretty big area as far as its footprint. There's not going to be a ton of reasons to need to get out too much unless you're commuting for work, going out to see friends, whatever it may be. But Bethany itself, again, you drive around, you look around, a lot of it kind of looks the same. The scenery is beautiful. You are on the backside of the West Hills, which run behind downtown Portland, and really kind of in this foothill type area. So a lot of sloping elevation change, not, crazy steep hills necessarily, but winding streets. And although, most of this is quite a bit newer in terms of the development, it doesn't feel as cookie cutter as you might get in similar areas of the same age. Bethany itself, about 30,000 people live here. So you're looking at a community that is as big as or bigger than like a Tualatin, a Sherwood, a Wilsonville. So Bethany in and of itself is bigger than some incorporated suburbs in the Portland metro area. Again, you're really here in an area that is considered to be Beaverton or north of Beaverton, but still Beaverton School District, still sharing a lot of the same utility districts and things like that with Beaverton. And this is all monitored by the Washington County Sheriff. So Washington County Sheriff actually has an office right there in Bethany Village. You see the Sheriff's Department driving around all the time. So, you know, it's not like you don't have law enforcement around here, as well as firefighters and everything else that you would need. Bethany is an area that tends to be considered a little bit higher priced. When you look at the numbers, it's pretty on par with some of the nicer suburbs in the Portland metro area, so quite a bit more expensive than Beaverton as a whole. But when you put it up against like Tualatin, Westland, Sherwood, you know, some of the nicer areas, you know, or kind of what would be considered some of the nicer suburbs in the Portland metro area, it's pretty on par as far as price and what you get as well. So right now the median sale price in Bethany is $765,000. That's come down a bit. There's actually about 240 active listings in Bethany, so quite a range as well. And again, by and large, you're going to be getting these individual developments. There's dozens of developments, some a little bit older, some a little bit newer, like where I'm standing right now in North Bethany, which is where you actually see the highest concentration of new construction. A lot of this area in North Bethany is still getting developed. But, you know, what you get in terms of these residential developments, pretty typical as far as what you can expect. You know, they all kind of have the same feel, layout a little bit. Some are a little bit bigger, some are a little bit smaller, some have homes that are a little bit larger, some have homes that are a little more modest, some are, you know, feel a little bit more high-end, a little more luxury, and again, some a bit more modest. So you do get a bit of a range overall, you know, as far as the homes. There's quite a few apartments and townhomes and condos and things like that as well. So you don't have to move into Bethany if you like the area and buy, you know, a 3,000 square foot 4-bedroom home necessarily. That is a lot of what you're going to find for sure. But there is quite a bit of diversity in terms of, you know, the type and style of living that you can get. But again, and like I mentioned, you're going to be in an area, again, that really does kind of feel like it has a bubble around it a little bit. You're really not all that far from the city and from Portland. The further west you get, for sure, I mean, the less accessible getting into the city becomes. But you have Highway 26 just to the south of you. You also have quick, easy access to Skyline Boulevard, which is going to run right up and over the hill into downtown Portland as well. You can get into Beaverton, Cedar Hills, downtown Beaverton, those areas pretty quickly, 10-12 minutes depending on where you're coming from in Bethany. So the accessibility to things around you is still pretty good. Again, I mean, it's a really nice area, walking paths and a lot of parks, and you have that Bethany Village right at the heart of everything. So most of what you need is right here. I think that's something that a lot of people really enjoy about Bethany. I think a lot of people really enjoy just the overall aesthetic too. Again, I mean, it's a very suburban feeling area, has a nice new clean feel to it overall, but it's not just laid out on a grid. It's not completely cookie cutter, and you do get quite a bit of variety from development to development. So, you know, there's areas that are going to be more wooded. There's going to be areas that are going to be more open as far as your sight lines, kind of like where I am right now. I mean, you can see the trees surrounding. But some of these areas are going to have kind of more of an open feel. So ton of variety aesthetically and kind of the style of the immediate area that you might be living in Bethany. There's a 9-hole golf course here too at Claremont. So probably not the best course in the area, probably not the best course in the Portland metro area for sure. But it definitely gets the job done. You know, you can go there, still play 18, relatively affordable. I think they have a membership option too. So I know that's an area, or that's a golf course rather, that a lot of people that live in this area like to go to. I think you're going to find that a lot of people that like Bethany, that live here, that want to move here, a lot of people, you know, where this comes up on the radar are typically going to be people who are working at like Intel or Nike or any of the other major employers here on the west side in this like Silicon Forest area or in Beaverton. And so I think if you hold Bethany against a lot of the neighborhoods in Beaverton and kind of compare them side by side, depending on what somebody might be looking for, Bethany is going to stand out for sure. Maybe it's not your cup of tea exactly, but there's no denying kind of, you know, how nice everything is just driving around this area. And again, I mean, you could be anywhere in Bethany and really kind of get that feel and get that aesthetic here. Probably the closest comparison, if we're looking at, you know, proximity and considering this to be more or less Beaverton, is going to be South Beaverton, neighbor Southwest, Murray Hill. This area that, you know, is up on some elevation, kind of some rolling hills. You have a central kind of commercial district, entertainment district at Progress Ridge. And this area, Bethany and North Bethany, really developed by and large around the same time as this area further south in Beaverton. The area on the south side of Beaverton that we're talking about, again, Murray Hill, neighbor Southwest, you're starting to butt up against Tigard quite a bit, whereas due north of here, you know, you're actually getting up into a Portland address or unincorporated Multnomah County. The county line hugs the top side of the West Hills. Let's see, over here. So if you go north of here, again, you're getting into the West Hills. If you go up and over, you're gonna get into downtown Portland, or you're gonna get onto Highway 30, getting out to areas like Sauvie Island and Scappoose, and the Willamette River is right there. So you have kind of a natural border to the north where it's going to be really pretty undeveloped quite a bit. And if you go due west here too, you're gonna get all the way out to areas like North Plains, for example. So this becomes pretty rural, pretty like country living. And again, you know, this is really at the edge of the urban growth boundary. Those are gonna be areas where you see newer homes and the most development going on. So just like on the south end of Hillsborough, where the urban growth boundary is extended that way, you know, we're seeing this area in Bethany, you know, a lot newer than most of what you get around the Portland metro area. And if you are thinking about moving to the Portland metro area, you know, starting to look at areas, starting to narrow things down a little bit, looking at kind of the preferences and areas that are going to check some boxes for you. If you want to talk further about that and discuss that, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video. Schedule a Zoom call with us, and on that call, we can talk about your timeline, your home search, you know, really put together a game plan for you and talk about areas like Bethany or other types of areas that you might be interested in. If this video is helpful, make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, tap that little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.